Hi folks, today's video is a book haul and some very, very beautiful ones to show you today. So to start with, I have this lovely book here, which was sent to me by the wonderful Jen Campbell, who knows exactly my taste, because this is all about hand-drawn maps, and as a designer, this is just completely up my alley, and it gives you instructions and examples of how to make all sorts of different maps, and I feel as though this would be the perfect book for designing some special end papers. So that's probably what I'm going to do with this. And it's not just maps of places, it's also things like palmistry, and there's one on phrenology head. Yes, and I love this kind of Victorian pseudoscience. Even calling it pseudoscience seems a bit generous towards it, but yeah, I just find it fascinating the way that people in the past used to solve problems, and so this is all just wonderful. Thank you so much, Jen. I will certainly be using this a lot, and yeah, so much inspiration in there. In fact, we're gonna see a theme throughout this video of inspirational books, because the next one is all about dust jackets, and I showed this in a favourites video the other day, but this is called The Illustrated Dust Jacket by Martin Salisbury, and this is mid 20th century mostly in design, so 1920 to 1970, and I love the designs of this period. I mean, they're very diverse in many ways, but these are all illustrated book jackets, as it says on the tin. So let's find some particularly favourite ones. I mean, any page that you open in this book is going to be marvellous. This is Duncan Grant. Some beautiful illustrations there. I love the limited colour palettes of designs of this time, and that was because inks are and were very expensive, so that they tended to just use limited colours, and that was cheaper to produce and was a different type of printing to what we do now. What I also love about the history of book design is how many women there are in this history, and it's something that there were more men than women doing it, but there were a significant number for the time. So that's something that's very interesting and very inspiring to see, and I love reading about these women who really defied expectations. This is Heather Standring, and I really like these designs. So yes, this is a Thames and Hudson book, to nobody's surprise, because it's beautiful. The next two books are from Bloomsbury, and probably no surprise as to what they are. The first is The Illustrated Prisoner of Azkaban, which I really need to sit down with and have a good look through. I tend to, with these books and with the next book as well, I tend to not look at them and think I need a dedicated amount of time to sit down and really have a good look at them, and I will reward myself after I've done X amount of work, except X amount of work always turns into Y amount of work, turns into Z amount of work, and then Z amount of work is just infinite. So I have a tendency to just keep working and then not actually stop and sit down and do the things that I really want to, like this, which is one of the hazards of being self-employed. But my goodness, what I have seen of this, I'm completely in love with, and no surprises really, because the first two were so wonderful. And yeah, I mean, this is my favourite of the Harry Potter books. It has a very special place in my heart. So yeah, I mean, let's just open it on the first page, and it's just stunning. So I'm waiting for my other two Harry Potter illustrated editions to arrive with the rest of my books in hopefully the next couple of weeks. I know that my boxes are now in New Zealand, so fingers crossed that they will be on their way to me as we speak. And my goodness, I'm so excited about this. And I've only just taken this out of the bag, and I bought it last Saturday. I've been so busy, and again, I want to just dedicate time to it, but it's the history of magic. And I mean, just look at the cover, and what I squealed when I did this. I took the dust jacket off, and I've just noticed the back. The back is beautiful as well. But I took the dust jacket off, which I'm going to do now, and try not to squeal again, because oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Honestly. look at this. And this is foiled, as is the spine. I mean, I have no words. I mean, I do have words, but it looks like an old-fashioned natural history book, which is one of my favourite things to look through. And the fact that they've gone for that type of aesthetic for this, A History of Magic, and that it's associated with the British Library, it just seems so, so perfect. And the dust jacket is perfect. It's got that illustration from Jim Kay, from the second illustrated Harry Potter in it. And speaking of Jim Kay, inside we've also got these lovely illustrations of Hogwarts on the end papers. I'm so looking forward to really having a good look through this. And I watched the BBC documentary about this exhibition, and I think that this will have a lot of that information plus a lot more. I had a flip through before, and there is a lot of text in here, which is very exciting because I love reading stuff like a true Ravenclaw. But oh look, there's a bit from Tim Peake, and yeah, there's a heap of stuff written in here, as well as all these images from the British Library. So, oh yeah, I'm just delighted, and I'm sure that you all are too, at how beautiful this book is. Okay, so that's all the really gorgeous books, but actually no, this is pretty gorgeous as well. So I picked this up. This is a New Zealand novel. I picked this up at the local bookshop, and I had tried to order this from the UK, but I couldn't source it very easily from over there. So this is Dead People's Music by Sarah Lang, and Sarah Lang wrote a graphic novel about her and the parallels in her life with Catherine Mansfield, who is one of my favourite authors of all time, also a New Zealand author. And this just sounds wonderful. It's about a New Zealand woman, and she plays the cello, and really that's all that I needed in order to want to read this. I also play the cello, and also the cover, because this is, I mean, it just feels like all the stars aligned with this book, so I better jolly well love it. But the cover is by my favourite artist, who is a New Zealand painter called Seraphine Pick, and her stuff is just so kind of ethereal and weird. And if you look really closely at the backgrounds and things of her work, like there's an ear, that's an ear within the foliage of the wallpaper, and yeah, her symbolism is really amazing, and I've loved her for years and years, and I have a book completely dedicated to her work, which is very beautiful. So yes, there's that as well. And I thought what I really need is a book that I can read to wind down before I go to sleep, because I have a tendency before I go to sleep to have lots of creative ideas, which is great, but also a little inconvenient when you're wanting to sleep. So more of that in the morning would be good, and less at night when I need to sleep. But anyway, I can't complain about having too many ideas, really. It's just having the time to execute them all. Speaking of ideas, before I go, I just wanted to say that the sticker packs are now available on my website, and these are from my Inktober project, where I did a book plate for different book characters throughout the month of October for Inktober. And yeah, the packs look like this. I've got 2 classics packs, each have got 5 stickers in, and then a classics for children pack. There is a fantastical one, which has got fantasy book characters in, and then a second fantasy one, and then a witches and wizards one, which is all the Harry Potter characters. And then I've got these 4, which are the house plates. I've got the wisdom pack with an eagle on there, the loyalty pack with a badger, which I just think is so cute, bravery pack with the lion, and then an ambition pack with the snake. And if you want to see the individual stickers, I'll just show you a couple here. So I'm just gonna focus on that there. Is it gonna focus? So we've got the Little Mermaid there. That's another Little Mermaid. There's Alice from Alice in Wonderland. These are just a few of the examples. That's Remus Lupin. And these are all cut out by hand by me Took me a jolly long time. But yes, like I said, available on my website now, and the prices do include the postage as well. Let me know down in the comments if you have any of these books, or if you now want to go out and buy any of these books. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!